Welcome back to Adventures with Dice. I'm Rob, and I'm your host for these videos. Today's video, I'm going to be basically going through all of the cool RPG or gaming stuff that I got for Christmas here, 2023, because a lot of it, almost all of it, is going to be used on this channel in 2024. Not going to go, this is not going to be an in-depth review of each book. I'm just kind of showing what I got and talking a little bit about it, and it's all stuff that I'm excited to bring to the channel to be able to share with everybody. Some of it is self-contained, like it has the solo rules built into it, and some of it is for using with other games that aren't normally intended for role-playing solo. And a little caveat, there's one or two here that were not specifically Christmas gifts, but they were sent to me and arrived right at Christmas, so they just kind of made it into the piles because to me they were Christmas gifts. So what all did I get and what is going to be coming to the channel? Well, let's start with the first one. With the first one, Zer Games, Paul Elliott over at Zer Games sent me Hostile Solo, which is a big solo version of his Hostile game, which has been around since I think 2016, 2017, something like that. There's a lot of books for it. He's done a lot of work on this game. It's really cool. His work on this game is actually what got him hired to do some of the writing and maps work for the Alien RPG from Free League. He's credited, at least in the main book, I know. But he has his own Hostile universe, which is inspired by Alien or Event Horizon, Outland or Outpost, Dark Star, any of those type old movies. That kind of stuff is what what Hostile is designed to be. So to me, that has a little bit of a leg up over Alien because Alien is just Alien. With a lot of conversion work, you could do other stuff with Alien, not just the Alien universe. But it would take a bit of work to do it. One of the things that I do love is that we're seeing more and more companies either putting out solo versions of their games or they're putting out solo packets to go along with their normal role-playing games. Because, yes, while people have been solo role-playing for many, many, many years, after the pandemic, it really it exploded. Because everybody was locked up at home, you know? And I think that helped it to grow. And while it is a niche hobby within a niche hobby, it's still there and it's growing exponentially. If you look at what Free League does, most of their games, they either now include a solo option or they put out PDFs of a solo option. The only one they haven't done that for, that I know for a fact that I have, is Alien. And I think Alien would really be cool, especially after playing a game like Alien Isolation. So maybe they could put out a PDF like they did Strider Mode for the One Ring. Something like that for Alien, either call it Isolation or something else, something similar to that, but put out some solo rules for it. So hopefully they'll eventually do that. But being as they haven't, I got interested in this and I was talking to Paul, and Paul sent me a copy of Hostile Solo. And it's really cool. I'll read you the back of it. Hostile Solo is a standalone role-playing game set in the grim and gritty future, inspired by movies like Outland, Alien, Dark Star, Pitch Black, Event Horizon, The Thing. It allows a single player to create and play the roles of a group of blue-collared workers out in deep space, overcoming difficult challenges and facing unknown terrors. Included in this volume, an immersive and realistic near-star setting, 6 campaign types, and this is very similar to Alien, how you have the Colonial Marines or the Colonists or the Space Truckers. You have 6 of them in here. You have asteroid mining, marine combat, corporate troubleshooters, shipping and salvage, exploring, and colony survival. Then you have character creation rules, complete role-playing and combat rules, innovative scene resolution mechanics, solo mapping tools for ship, station, and colony outpost, unique tools for solo play, dozens of random encounter and event tables, and you have Nexus, which is a fully detailed cyberpunk city on Earth's equator, and the game is fully compatible with Zer Games' other Hostile products. So that's pretty cool. The inside of the book is just chock full of really great tables for any kind of sci-fi solo gaming that you want to do. I'm going to do, like I said, a more in-depth look at each of these, and then hopefully get a few sessions filmed. Why do I say filmed? Like, we don't film anymore. Recorded and then put out. Like it's like I'm the 1950s over here. Anyway, Hostile Solo looks great. Thank you, Paul Elliott. Fantastic looking book. Can't wait to dig deeper into that. My next one was a Christmas present. This is from Wordmill Games, and Tana Pigeon sent me over the 2nd edition of the Mythic Game Master emulator. We talked on Facebook, I believe, and Wordmill was like, hey, Merry Christmas. Let me make this a Christmas present for you. And I was like, well, thank you very much. And this book is out there. If you're into solo gaming at all, you know what this book is. I don't need to go through it. If you have not looked at the 2nd edition of Mythic, it is a full color book, and it just has tons and tons of tables and options and things for solo play, different ways to use Mythic. This isn't just one rule set. It's like a toolkit, so to speak, of a lot of different things you can do with Mythic and how you can use it to add on to other games. So you can take this, and games that don't normally have a solo play option, you can use Mythic to play them solo. One of the benefits, I would say, of solo role-playing is not just the enjoyment that you get out of it. It's a little different for me when I'm doing it on video that I'm filming. But it's a little bit different because of the way that I have to do it. And I'm going to go in more into that on my solo tips video that I'm working on. But it allows you to world build. It allows you to create interesting NPCs that you can drop into your regular games. So not only can you have fun playing a game solo, but you're also, if you want to use that stuff that you're creating in that solo game in a normal game with your friends, it does a lot of the legwork for you. You've got cool NPCs, cool places that you end up creating that you can then drop into other games. So Mythic is really useful as that, as a writing tool and as a solo RPG. So thank you, Wordmill Games. I don't know why I can't get that out. Wordmill Games. For sending this over. This was very highly anticipated. I was looking very much forward to getting my hands on this. So I'm very excited that I got it. Let's see, the next thing is 3 books. One of our viewers, my buddy ONeal Flynn, whose channel used to be called In Like Flynn, but is now just RPG Dad. He is a small channel who deserves to be bigger than he is. And I've been friends with him on YouTube and on Facebook for a really long time. I think we kind of hooked up over Dark Places and Demogorgons, but we share a lot of similarities in our likes and dislikes of games. But he went over to my wish list, my YouTube wish list, or Amazon wish list that's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube thingy in the bottom, and picked up some stuff to help out the channel. And the first thing that came in was The Adventure Crafter, which is another great book from Wordmill Games, if I can get that out. And this works in conjunction with the Mythic Game Master emulator, so it's kind of a in tandem, hand in hand type thing. So I got both of those. That was really awesome. This next one is Adventure Anthology 3 from Basic Fantasy, and I regardless of how much I do or don't play Basic Fantasy, I still love Basic Fantasy, and in fact, I have been creating my own Oracle tables and stuff for playing Basic Fantasy solo here on the channel, so that's coming. I'm still working out some of the details about how I want to do the adventures, but I love their books. Their books are fantastic, and their adventure anthologies especially. I have all their books, except for the new 4th edition stuff. I didn't buy any of the 4th edition stuff yet. I just haven't seen a need to, but all of it's compatible across 3rd or 4th edition. But this one has some great adventures in it, and one that I really loved. See, I think I marked it. Yeah, Cult of the Green Skull, and I actually colored in the Green Skull. But this adventure is just a fun, low-level dungeon romp. It's good times, and it's in the running for one that I might just run here on the channel, but I'll probably be using some adventures from this to do different adventures on the channel. So again, thank you, ONeal. And the last one he sent over was the Basic Fantasy Field Guide 2 off my wish list, and I think these were the only 2 on my wish list because they were only 2 I didn't have. But it's just, if you're not familiar, the field guides are monster manuals. So it's just tons more monsters. I'm not even sure how many's in here, but got about 100 pages of monsters in here. So that's great. So thank you, ONeal. I really appreciate it. All stuff that's going to be seeing some use here on the channel. Then I had these 2 books came in together. There's an unknown viewer because there was no note, so I don't know who it was from. But these were also from the wish list. Cairn and the Cairn Bestiary. And this game's been around for a while. It's been floating around. I've had other viewers, mention it to me. And I put it on the wish list, and I just never really pulled the trigger on it. I don't know why, because it's like $3 or $4 or something. It's pretty cheap. But it's a really simplistic RPG. And it's kind of a toolkit, really, for you to take and add things onto that you want in your RPG. So I don't know 100% how many videos I'm going to do on this, but I'll probably do an adventure or 2 with this just to show off how it works. So thank you, unknown viewer. So the next set of books is from Alex T over at Black Oath Entertainment, and he sent me PDFs and 3 books, and then I used a gift card I got for Christmas to buy 2 more books from him because I was so impressed, and all of that is here. Let me just pull it over where I can see it. So the first book he sent me was Broken Shores, and it's it's black and white interior, but the art is phenomenal. So he has kind of a similar format for his games. Broken Shores is it's a game that is designed best, and it tells you in here it's best played with a GM and 1 player because you're telling that player's story. You can play with more players if you want to, but it really works best one GM, one player, or solo, which rules for solo play are included in the book, so you can do it either way. I'll probably be doing this solo. But it's a fantasy world that already had its apocalypse. The world was completely flooded. The gods were all killed. And 100 years later, the waters are starting to recede. And you've got these islands that are appearing. You're adrift on the ocean in a boat that you escaped in from some cultist. Which is a theme with Alex's work, I'm here to say. But you've got these floating barge cities, and then regular ships and stuff that people are just—it's very water world. They're roaming around and surviving in this fashion. And you're going and you're exploring these derelicts, or fighting with pirates or cultists, or going into these ruins that are, surfacing after all this time. And it's really good. And I have to say that I started reading through it. This is a D100 system, so it's similar to like Warhammer Fantasy's mechanics, or Call of Cthulhu, but it's in my opinion it's done better. Like, it's really good. The mechanics, the charts, really good. The art's really good. But what really stands out with Alex's work is his world building. His world building that is in these books, every one of them, is some of the best world building that I have ever seen. It's amazing. It draws you in when you start reading it, and as you're reading it, you start envisioning all these stories that can be told in this world and really getting into it. So highly recommend going over to DriveThruRPG and picking up some of his stuff. I'll try to remember to put a link in the video. If not, I'll be putting the link to each book individually as I go through them and give them their own video, because all of these are going to get their own videos. But Broken Shores was really a surprise to me, because of the ones he sent me, it was the one I was like, okay, Waterworld. But then when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this is amazing. And just so many ideas started to flow from his writing. So I highly recommend checking this out. Next up, this one didn't come from Alex, but it is one of his books. And this is because I'm pairing it with this because it goes with Broken Shores. I got a gift card for Christmas for Amazon, and, spent it immediately. And Agrestia Reborn. And this is an adventure module, basically, for Broken Shores. And it has some rules clarification. It has some great map stuff in here, and new spells. And this is one particular island that is surfaced, and you're going and dealing with what's going on in the ruins on this island. And there's some magic that you can only get if you play through this adventure. So that's really cool. I was very happy with this product. So going back to the products that Alex T over at Black Oath sent me, he sent me Sacrifice, the branded edition. And this was the game that I really, that's a horrible glare. This is the game that I really got interested in from his work to begin with, just because of the theme of it. And this is the original version came out, and then there was some solo rules that were put out later, and an extra class that was put out later. The branded edition has all of that in one book, so that's really cool. So this is a D20 roll under system. I believe it's roll under, but it's very similar to D&D or a lot of your other OSR style games. So very adaptable back and forth. I say a lot. It's really good. I started reading this first, checking this out. I saw it somewhere, maybe on YouTube. I can't remember where I looked at it first. But again, it has that setup of a GM and one player. Now, it also added in you can play other players and other types of characters later on, but it does work best one GM, one player. And then it has the solo rules, so that's probably how I will be playing it. But in Sacrifice, you are, I think, it's he calls it Incense and Iron. It's very dark and gritty Warhammer old world style gaming, or not gaming, atmosphere. And you play a Inquisitor / witch hunter who has been betrayed by someone and turned over to a cult for sacrifice. And you've escaped, but not before being branded, like tattoo branded, for the sacrificial rites to be performed. You escape somehow, and all of that is covered in your backstory. Like, you have charts you roll on, like, who were you, who betrayed you, why did you join the Inquisition, who betrayed you, or Inquisition, I think it's just the church. But anyway, you're betrayed by somebody, and then you've escaped because you still want to fight demons. But now the church is hunting you because the brand that you carry actually draws demons towards you. So you have to deal with fighting the demons and forces of darkness, and the church that you used to work for is now currently hunting you. So it's almost, it got a little bit of Solomon Kane in it too. But again, the world building in this is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I'm reading it and I'm just like, and I like the idea of the witch hunters anyway. So I'm sucked in immediately. And the stories are just like flowing. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this, and I love it. It's great. So again, all of his stuff is on DriveThruRPG, and on Amazon as well. Now, one of the other ones, this was the other book I got off my gift card. So I spent my gift card getting more stuff from Black Oath, and that is Demonic, issue 1, and it's a zine for Sacrifice. And it introduces new rules, new tables, new magic stuff, new locations, things that you can explore and play in Sacrifice. So again, this was a cool. I think it was like $12 on Amazon or something. The third book that Alex sent me is called Warlord Ascendant. Try to get it where a glare is not hitting it. And this is a miniature skirmish solo game set in the Sacrifice world. So you build a team, kind of like in Frostgrave. You build a team, but you're playing on like a D&D size map that's gridded, and you're fighting monsters and so on and so forth with your team and advancing them and whatnot. And I didn't even know about this. He sent me this, and it just kind of blew me away. I was like, I don't even know what that is. And I started reading it. I was like, oh, this is great. So it's a miniature skirmish game set in the Sacrifice world, and I really like the Sacrifice world, so that kind of works out. All right, we're getting there. We're getting close. These last couple here are from my buddy Haley. Haley also gave me the gift card that I used to buy those. But she got me a copy of the Broken Cask, which, again, if you've been around solo playing on YouTube, watching videos for any amount of time, you know what this is. This is a very lighthearted, relaxing solo game where you don't play the adventurers. You play the innkeeper. You're building up an inn and trying to make your inn really, really good. And I thought that was an interesting concept. I was like, you know what, this would be fun to play around with. And even if you don't want to play the game as the innkeeper and, you know, see how cool you can make your inn, the charts and tables in the Broken Cask are absolutely phenomenal for use when you want to create some pretty unique inns and taverns to drop into your regular role-playing games. And I don't think it's very expensive, but if you're, I don't remember how much it was. but I think it was under 20 bucks, maybe 10, 20 bucks, something like that. But if you don't want just another run-of-the-mill tavern, run-of-the-mill inn, you want your inn to stand out and your characters to remember it, this is a great book for doing that. This is a great book for making a cool tavern that you're going to be able to put some personality into. So for me, it's kind of twofold. There's two things I can do with it. All right, so the other thing that Haley got me is this is not a role-playing game, but it's kind of themed on fantasy, and that is Here to Slay. And most everybody's seen this. It's in your Walmarts and Targets and Amazon and stuff like that, and it's pretty cheap, 14 to 20 bucks, something like that. And Here to Slay is a very fun, family-friendly, great to play with the kids, especially if you want them to be mad at you about moves you made in the last turn of the game. But it is a great game where you play these anthropomorphic animal people, that word. And the art's very, very good. It's cute, but it's also, I hate to say cute because that sounds dumb, but it's cute, but it's also really well done. I love the art on these cards. And it's a card game where you have a main hero, a party leader, and then you are building a party of adventurers, and there's different classes, and then you have monsters out on the table, and you are trying, in the core game, you're trying to get 6 classes, one of each class, or take down 3 monsters. And each monster you take down has an ability that you then add to your party leader. But she also, with that, got me 2 expansions, and I got the Berserkers and Necromancers and the Warriors and Druids expansion, which come with 2 new heroes apiece, come with I think it's 2 new monsters apiece, and then more cards to add into the deck. And we've played this one a lot, honestly, over the last few days, or last couple of weeks, because she had it and brought it over and we tried it, because I wanted to see if I liked it, and then I did, and I got it for Christmas. Not disappointed at all. This is a fun game. If you've ever been on the fence about picking up just a cheap $20 game that you can play with the kids or with the family, pick up Here to Slay. It's super fun, super fast to play, very easy to teach. You can be up and running in just a couple of minutes. It's not a hard game at all. The artwork, again, is absolutely phenomenal. I really, really like it. So that's pretty much it. I did get other stuff, obviously, for Christmas from my loved ones, my family and stuff, but most of it's not game related, so it's a lot of it's actually cooking related, because I'm very big into cooking. I love cooking. That's one of my loves. I actually have thought about doing a cooking channel, a separate cooking channel on YouTube, just because of how much I love to cook and experiment with recipes. So I got a lot of cooking stuff and different odds and ends, but this was the stuff related to gaming, other than my subscription to the adventure, which is what my Mini Factory Plus has turned into, and it's where I showed it off in the previous video about the Dragonbane miniatures and things. I'm about to hit my month 2 because I got it in December, so January I'll hit my month 2 and have a whole new set of STLs to print, and a cool big bad guy model from the adventure path for Dragonbane, so I'm looking forward to showing some of that off. I'll probably do a video on the adventure each month, and just to show you what's come out for it. But I would like to end this by saying thank you very much to all of the publishers who sent me stuff this year. Your stuff is going to see lots of video time on this channel because of the way the channel has kind of gone. I'm doing a lot of solo play, a lot of game theory stuff, so a lot of this stuff is definitely going to get shown here. So I appreciate you sending that to me. Thank you very much. To my online friends and my in-person friends. Thank you for the stuff you sent me or brought over here. It's all loved very much and going to see a lot of use here at the game table at Adventures with Dice. It's just so much content to go through. I can't go through everything in one video and show everything. That's why all the stuff is going to get separate videos. But thank you to everyone very, very much. Did you get cool gaming stuff for Christmas this year? If you did, tell me about it in the comments. I love reading that kind of stuff. And until next time, my friends, good gaming and good luck.